I'll just put out some pieces of paper. Is that okay?
Assalamu
Bigger
alaikum,
piece?
everybody. If I can get your attention, assalamu alaikum. We're gonna inshallah get started. If you haven't already, please do sign in. This sign-in sheet is not only getting your name and contact information, but we also want to know some of your skill sets. So some of you are you good with the camera? Are you good at editing software? Are you maybe good at acting? These types of things. So just we're getting all the information here. You laugh, but no, it's important. If you're gonna make a film and you don't know what people can do, how can you make a film, right? It's not gonna happen by happenstance.
Laughing at
So-
the acting part.
Yeah. So I'll put the laptop over here. Just make sure everybody signs in, and then with that, I'll have Hafiz Miraj start us off with an opening speech, and then we'll jump into it.
So just write our
Assalamu alaikum,
names.
everyone.
Welcome.
Thank you for coming.
On the computer here.
Okay, many of you might know, like, I'm Miraj. I work in IT, and I also very passionate about documentary filmmaking. I try to work on a couple of documentaries and still not complete yet, but I also volunteer at the St. Louis International Film Festival, and I also got a chance to do a consulting work for a Hollywood studio called Perfect Production. So they flew me into Burbank, California, and they were working on a script related to Middle East. And so they fly me there, and they basically needed like my advice on like cultural accuracy and the protection of the Middle Eastern people. So I did that twice. And in St. Louis, I volunteer for a film festival, and I get to see like different movies. But like what I notice is there is a story missing that is like a Muslim story, because you have like a lot of stories about like boyfriend, girlfriend, birthday party, like things that are like very obvious and very common and being told repeatedly several times. And so I go like, well, this is like our like opportunity for Muslim community, because we have a sizable Muslim community in St. Louis. And we have a talent as well, we have resources, but we are not like making any effort to present the movie. And also it reminded me that the prophets, like whenever they were sent to a particular community, they were sent with the speciality of that particular era. For example, during the time of Prophet David, Dawud al-Salam, people were known for their ironsmith skills. And so Allah Azza wa Jal gave Prophet David the ability to mold the iron with his hand. So instead of going through all the hard work that the people usually do, he was given the ability to mold with his own hand. And similarly, Prophet Jesus was given the ability to cure the blind and to cure the leprosy diseases. And also Prophet Musa was given the ability of he was given Quran, because the Arabs were known for poetry, for their ability to speak eloquently. But the Quran was top all of them. And similarly, in our time, we find the revivalists, the people who revive, because like there's no prophet to come until the last day. So it will be the responsibility of the scholars to continue the mission. So the scholars who revive the Muslim community, we find they have the best of the skill of our time. For example, we look at Dr. Asrar Ahmad, who he was a scholar from Pakistan. He was like not only good at the religious knowledge, he was also the best in medicine. He was a doctor, and not just a doctor, he was a gold medalist. And similarly, Sayyid Qutb, he was educated from Western University. And for us to be able to tell like our story to the non-Muslim masses, we need to participate in the media. Until and unless we do that, we'll be just sitting and complaining that the media is anti-Islamic, they hate Islam and Muslim. But like, what practical effort we are making? I mean, there are like a lot of Muslims who do participate in the media, but they tell the secular side, or they try to present Islam that is kind of like apologetic, like that is trying to say like, oh yeah, we have like bad people, but we are not telling our side of the story. And I think we have resources, we have talent, but we just need to make an effort. And also Allah Azza wa Jal says, you take one step towards me, Allah Azza wa Jal takes many steps towards you. And so with that, like what we're looking for is people who have the camera skill, people who have the story telling ideas and people who have editing skills and things like that. So that's what we're looking for.
Jazakallah Karen, thank you so much for that, Miraj. Inshallah, I'll take over for a moment. What I'd like for us to do is to take a moment and everybody introduce themselves and let us know sort of why are you here, what are you hoping to get out of this, and what are you also bringing to the table. I'll of course start. My name is Faizan Syed. The reason I'm here is, as Miraj said, is that there is a lot of misconception out there about Islam and Muslims, and that's not the only thing, but stories are the best way to convey an idea, to convey a message to the population. And there's many stories out there, stories that talk about everything, but the story that we're missing is fundamentally the story of us, the story of Muslims living in America, the story of Islam and these things. So what we want to use the medium of film in order to convey those stories to a larger group of people, to bring creativity into this area that we can speak for ourselves rather than letting others speak for us. Has anybody seen a movie called Homeland or a TV show called Homeland?
I heard about it, yeah.
Homeland's a really fun show if you ever watch it. But basically every episode they show Muslims being terrorists, right?
Yeah.
So you show this one episode, the very first episode, they're in Lebanon. And if you've ever actually been to Lebanon, Lebanon is a multicultural, very progressive society, right? But they show these guys in this black SUV and then people who are obviously Muslims dressed in like a Palestinian garb are like running at their van, hitting them with rocks, pelting them and doing all these
Listen,
things.
we're not violent
And it's
people.
like,
Palestinian people were peaceful. People just
and also
Yeah.
this is also Lebanon too. And what's
Yeah.
funny is that the city they did it in, if you look at that city, it's like Dubai. Like it's like a modern day progressive city. It's very, that type of display doesn't happen there. But that's what they're showing. So what we want to do is we want to use the medium of film in order to create a different change, inshallah. So with that, we'll continue.
Hi, my name is Assalamu alaikum. My name is Jamal. I'm a police chaplain for the city of St. Louis, and I see a lot of stuff going on, in the Muslim community. A lot of positive and also some negative stuff, as well, like you can see. So basically, I just want help out, to show that basically not all Muslims are terrorists. You have like a lot of positive things going on in the city, Muslim helping communities and all other stuff, and people need to see that, basically.
Inshallah. Can we continue?
I would like to also add that the media does not really, I'm not anti-Jewish because, this is only Allah can judge everybody. But the media always fails to show that when the Jews were persecuted in Europe, where did they flee? They didn't flee to another Christian country. They flee to the Muslim countries. And they live under our umbrellas. I lived in Morocco and I see the Jews there. They live very happy that they don't want to ever leave Morocco. Even so, the Israeli government is willing to bring them there, but they're like, no, we're happy. We don't want to ever live they don't want to live under their own, people. And the media fails to show the Muslims, we house the people that are under our umbrella, under sovereignty. They have just as many rights. They have their own churches or synagogues or whatever. They doesn't show that.
Val, could you give Yumna the mouse that's in front of you, please?
Oh, sure.
The mouse, could you give that to Yumna? Thank you.
What's your name?
Fatima.
Fatima, okay.
Yeah, they don't show that.
Yeah.
They don't, and then, and we are, unfortunately, they don't show where actually many areas where they have really drug problems. When the Muslim community moves in, they clean those areas. They have seen it in Germany over and over, and many cities in Europe. You guys go and open up and go check. They done a wonderful job. But will the media show it? They won't show it. That's a problem.
Could you tell us why you came here? Or,
I'm here because I just came to show support
and participate.
and participate. Why not?
Assalamu alaikum. My name's Munira, and I'm here because I work here at the library.
Okay.
And I know these guys, and I wanted to show support, but also I think this is an exciting project, and I have writing journalism background, so I could help out with that and creative ideas. I always have stories running in my head, so
I know.
we definitely would love to see what we can do.
Please.
My name is Ami. I came here to honor the invitation of my sister Fatima.
MashaAllah.
So I just came to show some support and get an understanding of what's going on.
Jazakallah khair.
I'm Kiara, and I came because, like Point of View on PBS and all those shows. I grew up watching that, and I always wanted to be a part of something like that. And also because I'm like a naturally quiet person, so I'm getting tired for other people speaking for me. And so I decided to come here. Yeah.
Yumna?
Assalamualaikum, my name is Yumna Ali. Where do I start? I don't have any background in producing films or making video or anything. I don't even do much on YouTube. But professionally speaking, I have a graphic design background, and I also have really strong writing skills, whether it's fictional or it's like, journalistic, I guess. Research, I'm pretty good at like makeup and costume, just as a hobby. So I think that's one of the things I could offer for this. So storyboarding, makeup, costume, figuring out how to pace the narrative. Yeah.
Thank you. Inshallah. So what I want to do is I wanted to just give you a brief overview of this particular group, how we're going to function, what are our goals, and sort of what our aspirations are as well. So in essence, the STL Film Association is not an actual organization the way you think of like the president, vice president, these things. It really is a group of passionate people who want to share and produce Muslim stories. The way we accomplish that is we get people from the community who have, for example, Miraji has a beautiful camera, I have a camera just like that, who have equipment, who have editing videos and software, and we come together, bring all of our talents together in order to produce stories. And that's really what it's about, producing compelling stories that people are interested in listening to and hearing. Within 1 year, one of our goals is that basically less than a year from today is the STL Film Festival, And for that festival, anybody can submit a video, anybody can submit a film to be shown into it. Inshallah, we want to submit at least one film, if not more. Our goal is going to be to spend this time until next year producing either long videos, short videos, commercial, whatever it is, that this group decides, and then submit it for that, and then to see how they judge it. There's also other film competitions. And Miraj, as he mentioned, he worked for the film festival. He's also been in Hollywood and actually was an advisor for a TV series that never actually got produced, but he was part of the advisory board there. So there's a lot of channels out there that want to hear compelling Muslim stories, and we need to be the one that produce it. Another group that I work with very closely is called Unity Production Foundation. They make several Muslim documentaries, such as Muhammad Legacy of a Prophet, Saints, and I think it's called something, the Nur Khan story, many more.
That was their last one, right?
That's the Nur Eli Khan film. So one of the things I spoke with their executive director, and they said if we make a compelling film or story and it's good enough quality, then as they do showing that they're filmed across the country and they show it to thousands of people, they'll actually show our film before they show their film as well. So if you were here last year, they actually did a film showing in the Pear movie theater. They had the hall, the largest film movie theater there, and they showed it twice. So they had over 700 people come to watch their film. So this is just to mention there's a few opportunities for us to share. But what we want to do is we actually want to start producing these films. The way we're going to do that structurally, and of course we're open to people's ideas and to get your thoughts as well, is today is just an introduction meeting, so you guys can get to know us, we get to know you all. But the way we're going to start producing films is that every so often we're going to have a meeting next at my home. I'm getting a home in North County, inshallah. And at these meetings, we're going to try to have all of the people part of the Film Association bring their ideas to that meeting. I think we should make a story about this. I think we should make a story about that. But of course, you cannot come to this meeting and just say, this is my idea. I think we should make a story showing the Battle of Badr with angels and things coming out from you. That's unrealistic. Rather, what we want to do is that at these meetings, we want you guys to produce storyboards. Those of you who don't know what a storyboard is, I'm going to actually email you guys a YouTube video on what a storyboard is. Basically, at these meetings, all of you can come. Anybody part of this film association can come and bring their ideas, and then they'll present it to the larger group. They'll say, this is my idea, this is my story, and they'll actually present it like the story would go. And the way storyboards work, if you've ever seen it, they're just pictures basically, and you put them on a wall, and you basically walk the audience through how the story is going to be done. And of course, they also include camera angles and these things as well, as descriptive as possible. So that way, at the next meeting, everybody will be here. We'll all take an hour or two to present our stories, and then we'll vote. We'll vote on which story we actually want to choose and which one we want to produce. If your story gets picked, you'll likely be the producer for that story, unless of course you want to have somebody else be the producer for the story. And as a producer, you'll be the person that actually will work with the group, work with the talents that we have in order to make it a reality. Part of the way we're going to get people to support us is that, of course, we'll make a Facebook page and these things. So once we have the story idea, so let's say we want to make a story about, I don't know, the hijab, right? Let's just say some type of random story about the hijab, right? So how do we want to do it? Let's say we want to do it in the home or somebody's in a masjid. We'll then afterwards have another meeting. We'll actually choose sort of the location. We'll try to get actors, recruit actors. We'll try to get the, we have a small budget we can work with as well, so on and so forth. So we'll kind of just do a step by step, and we'll try to use everybody's skills that we have in order to do that. I think one way that right now this group is kind of small, right? But we don't really need a large group. Rather, we need people who are very committed. Once we have a story idea and we start saying, hey, we need these types of actors, we want this type of props and these things, you'll see people, inshallah, from the community will come in, and then they'll show their support as well. So at least structurally, that's how we're expecting to do it. We'll have a meeting coming up basically within 2 to 3 weeks. That'll give everybody enough time to produce their own ideas, to produce it on storyboard, which I'll send you an email. We'll vote on it. Then after that, we'll then have a strategic meeting on how we're actually going to make this idea become a reality. We'll then produce it, work on it, edit it, make the final product, do a showing, and then once we're done, we'll then move on to the next project, and then the next project, and then the next project. So this is how we see ourselves working on it. It is going to be fairly ad hoc, as you can imagine. Just because it's not really an organization or whatnot, but really is a group of people. And in essence, that's sort of where we're going to be going from here. I want to get other people's thoughts. What do you guys think of that idea? Do you guys have any ideas on how we can maybe improve it or add to it? I'd love to get people's thoughts on that, inshallah.
Is there a genre?
There's not a genre. But I think one thing we want to try to do is make stories that relate to, of course, Islam and Muslims. But other than that, it can be drama, it can be a comedy, it can be whatever you want. Really, it is to the person. So, for example, I have an idea, and one of my ideas is mainly for like families, right? So the story that I'm producing right now, I'm writing right now, is basically a family story, right? The audience, we don't really have a genre, so the audience can just be the general public, I guess. But maybe as time goes on, we can be more specific. I don't really want to limit it, because some people might want to make a comedy story, some people might want to make a family story, some people might want to make something that has to do with drama or horror or whatever it is, right? So you don't really want to limit it like that, but whatever your creativity compels you to write.
Does it have to reflect here in the United States, or is it generally?
No, it can be anything.
Anything.
It really, it is up to your imagination, but I would encourage you, again, to think practically as well. So as I'm making my story, I've already have a few storyboards drawn up. I don't want to show them today because I'm competing with all of you later.
Oh my God.
But the thing is, when you're writing it,
yeah, you got a head start. That's not fair.
Yeah, that's all right. But the idea is, you want to be practical. So we can shoot a small budget film, right? But we can't like fly to Pakistan and show the flight of the Kashmiris, right? That's going to be very, very difficult. Yeah. So that's the only thing you should keep in the back of your mind. So it doesn't have to be US based. It could be open based. It could also be, as Miraj said, a documentary. So Miraj's idea is actually to produce a particular documentary, which I won't say what it is because I don't want to, because again, he's competing with you guys.
So it could be a documentary.
It could be a documentary. It could be a commercial. It could be a short story. It could be stand-up, whatever.
And
okay. Is it possible to give a story about the relationship between how the Christians and the Muslims live together in my country. It's very interesting.
She's from
And you
Gambia.
compare the-
You're from Gambia, mashallah.
From what you saw here
Ah.
is contrary. Completely.
Yes, it's very true.
we can find
because
Completely contrary.
I think that would be an amazing idea.
yes,
That's why, I mean, up till now,
Yeah.
I cannot connect.
I totally agree with her because what
Completely contrary.
Palestine, I'm Palestinian American or whatever, but Palestine we have the Christians and the Muslims, and all of our lives we lived side by side.
That's right.
I don't know if any of you guys went to the old city of Jerusalem, how the houses are. It's very unique. The new entrance, everybody has like a foyer outside, and then you go a couple of steps down. This is your house, and you go a couple of steps up, and there's 1, 2, or 3, or 4 houses. But in the evening, everybody sits in the front yard together. They drink tea or coffee, and and we're just one family. The only difference is our religion. If somebody dies, we'll go to their funeral, or go respect. If somebody gets married, we get invited, we'll go to their weddings. They come to ours. We just don't marry into each other because they're proud of their religion, and so is ours. But the way the media shows that, or at least what the whole world shows, that the Muslim and the Christians are always in a war, it's not true. It was a misfortune that happened in Lebanon in 1972, that they created that civil war between the Christians and the Muslims. We lived side by side, always in peace. And if people want to think about it honestly, Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu, when he freed the Holy Land from the Crusaders or whoever was there, he never ever kicked out the Christian, not even the Jews. They were peaceful there. Same thing, who was Salahuddin al-Ayyubi.
Right.
He also didn't kick the Christians out. Wasn't the Crusaders themselves Christian that killed the Christians in Palestine and raped the women and all that? Many people, or this is a part of the history that they keep it taboo, but this is wrong.
That's right. And I think your ideas are very good. What you need to do again is think of how can I show that on film, right? So for example, just off the top of my head, maybe there's a cultural center here that we can go to. Maybe there's you need to think of what are you going to show behind that camera, which is where the storyboard comes from, right? And storyboarding allows you to draw out your ideas and come up with a script and a theme that you can work on. But I think that's a great idea. I would love, that would be a really amazing story. You just have to think of what is it going to show specifically, how they're going to be the beginning, the middle, end, and these things. And those logistics have to be figured out before we start producing, because producing is what's hard, right? Ideas are easy, alhamdulillah.
Yeah, I mean, there's always been, honestly, stories. Like, one of the good stories, you probably know how Umar ibn al-Khattab ended up having his own masjid in Jerusalem. I posted about it one time in Facebook. I don't know if you saw it. A Christian priest, when he knew it was time for the prayer for the Muslim, I don't know what prayer was that, he invited Umar ibn al-Khattab, and this is in the histories, you look it up. He invited Omar to pray in one of the churches, but Omar refused because he was the Khalifa and he was afraid that we will follow suit and be okay to pray at any churches. And this is one of the signs to show that Christians and Muslims have always been respectful and mindful of our religion. The Christian in Gaza, they're a minority, by the way. When the war broke out and they were massacring, demolishing the masjids, the priests in the churches in Gaza, they covered the statues. With thick cloth, they covered all the statues, and they told the Muslim, your masjids are gone, you're welcome to pray in our masjid whatever time. You don't hear the media.
I agree with you. I think they're beautiful story ideas, but you have to think of how are you going to make those stories happen.
Oh my God, that's the hardest part. We can write them, and how about you put it together?
Inshallah, we'll help. That's what the idea.
I think if we're making a documentary or film about foreign country, we probably need a footage from those countries, and I think the issue will be the copyright thing.
We'll figure it out, inshallah. We'll figure it out.
I think it'd be easier to do a film or a documentary, or just a story that's trying to teach a lesson, or or something that shows Islamic values within everyday Muslim life.
Yeah.
You know, or from a Muslim perspective, or if the protagonist is Muslim and it's like an action or mystery or something like that, you know, how does it go about? You're not going to have the protagonist go and sleep around with women. You're not going to have everybody pull out a drink. You're not going to have people randomly shooting at each other. You know, these are values that if you show a story that with the protagonist upholding these values rather than holding that like that gray spot, you know, between the super good and super evil, you know, upholding that's a good way to get all audiences involved into the story and to uphold the Islamic values of it that you want to show.
Definitely, I agree with Jimna on that as well. And again, just to make sure everybody understands, you are the creative individual. You have to basically write, produce the stories. And believe me, when we all come together and somebody goes on the stage and they say, this is my idea, we'll know if it's possible to make it or not, right? We're gonna vote that person down, and then the story that's least most likely to be made and we love it the most is gonna be voted up, inshallah. But what do you guys think of that idea? Having a meeting, we all produce their stories, we vote on it, whichever one we vote on, we then try to produce it as well. Another thing we'll be doing.
A brainstorming section. There's ways to get people's creative juices flowing with like if you put characters or words or something in random order and everybody picks and tries to gets into groups and tries to put something together with that.
Okay.
It's one of the ways we come up with ideas for like.
So that's actually a nice idea as well. I'm gonna write that down. So maybe at our next meeting we can do both. If people have stories already made, you can present them, but and we can also do a session of trying to, as a group, come up with the story as well. So
I think that's a good idea too, so that we're all like, you know, voting on it. And so which
like we can put like one pile is different genres, one pile is different protagonists, one pile is like point of view, one pile is like a setting or a time period or a culture or whatever. So different ways.
Inshallah. Okay, so we're definitely gonna do that then. So our next meeting, if you have a story idea and you want to present it, you can. But we'll start the meeting with the brainstorming idea as well. Just so you know, we can incorporate both, inshallah.
Yeah. Maybe we can narrow down, like, do we want to do a short story first, just so that we don't bite off more than we can chew? Maybe a short story is the way to go first, just so while we're doing it, or maybe you guys want to do, since you have documentary experience, maybe a documentary is what you want to do. I think human interest stories are always good, and I think we can, you know, do a little short story, human interest, but so maybe that's one of the things we can narrow. I think narrowing it down, because it's so broad.
Yeah.
That. Also,
we can probably, you know, like make stories like in home stuff. Many people have the misconception. People are afraid to be invited into a Muslim house. Let's face it. A lot of Christians are afraid to be going inside of a Muslim house because of how the media, show us to be, which is very wrong. Because if you go back as far back, even during the prophets of the Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, Muslims were taught to be very respectable toward their guests, and respect and kindly and offer whatever food they have, different than what the media is always showing us. I mean, this is really, it's bad that where Christian people are afraid to step inside of our homes.
I think it can be like hospitality.
The hospitality thing, yeah.
And like, we can have like melodies.
And this is a short film that we can do at anybody's house. Anyone can host.
Okay, well, I mean, that's something we can discuss with the brainstorming session.
Yeah.
So, I love it. And it's good to get the creative flowing now, just so we can have something with it. Another thing that we'll be doing is we'll be sending you guys everybody else's contact information. So in case you have your own idea and you just want to do it like you and one other person, you'll at least be able to do it. And our goal is, as time goes on, to build a long list of people, so that way individuals are making their own stories, and then as a group we're working on group projects as well. So inshallah, this is one of our long-term goals is to change the culture of the Muslim community, to build a culture that actually is always out there producing stories, whether it's in a group or whether it's an individual, inshallah. Other ideas that people have or just thoughts?
It will come.
Inshallah. Our next meeting is going to be on, where did my calendar go? Whoops. Hold on a second. So we have a few options. We can do September the 12th or the 13th, which is a Saturday or a Sunday weekend. And this will, inshallah, be at my home, which will be in the North County area. You all are coming. There'll be food there as well. It'll either be a lunch or a dinner.
Yeah, if you're making food, yeah, we're coming.
Yeah. I want to encourage people to come. And also, one of our goals is to encourage you all to really become friends with one another as well.
Exactly.
So, do either of those days work for people? If not, the weekend after that is going to be kind of bad for me. And then the weekend after that is Eid.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Really?
The 25th
Already?
and 26th of
Oh my
September
God,
is Eid.
subhanallah.
Yeah.
24th or 26th.
24th, who knows?
Yeah.
Around that weekend's going to be
Should
Eid
be
weekend.
end of
So I don't
the-
think we're going to want to come then.
Anyways,
So we have September the 12th or the 13th available. If not, we also have October the 4th available. What are people's schedules like? Is everybody available on the 12th on the evening?
The 12th
I would
of,
love
What
you love
time?
the 12th?
That's my
What
birthday.
time?
Oh, it's a bad day?
Really?
What about the 13th? Oh, it's your birthday.
when is your birthday?
12.
The
I
12th
don't
of
celebrate-
September?
I don't celebrate birthdays.
Well, why don't you come to my house for dinner then? It'll be like we're kind of celebrating.
Yeah. Come to that day. We don't celebrate birthday.
On your birthday, you should be with people.
Yeah. That's September 12th, right?
September the 12th, which is a Saturday, we can do a lunch or a dinner program. Which one would the group here prefer? But first, does everybody like the 12th? Are you available?
I'm
You
available.
I don't know because my schedule always changes for work.
Oh, tell your employees
them ahead of
you have
time.
a religious something going on that day. We'll make up a holiday.
Yeah.
So inshallah, let's do the 12th. Would people prefer lunch or would people prefer the evening? Lunch is around 12. Evening will be around 6, 7.
What time is Maghrib?
Maghrib at that time is going to be around 7:40. It's going to change to 6 something once there's daylight savings. So around that, it's going to be like 7:40.
So at 7:40?
Well, we can do it before Maghrib, and then
I think a lunch would be better.
what does everybody think? What do you prefer?
Makes
Lunch
no
or dinner? Choose one. or indifferent. Okay.
It don't matter.
No
Okay, how
matter
about
what,
we
okay.
we come for lunch and we stay for dinner too?
Oh, Bob, what do you prefer though?
It's fine with me, wallah.
Okay,
You know,
neither?
I don't have a
It's
preference.
Either?
Sister?
What do you?
Well, I'm here till 3 Saturdays, so
So
but that's
evening
fine.
would be
I don't. If I can't be there, that's fine. I can still.
no, you have
There's only 7 of us. It's before there, yeah.
No, I mean if the majority wants to go for evening for lunch, then
Maybe
go
like
with
a late
that.
afternoon though.
Yeah,
So,
I'm here till 3, so I
So-
could try to get off early and shut it down early.
Okay, so Yumna, what do you prefer?
I'm indifferent. I'm off that day.
Everybody's indifferent. Allah.
I'm off.
Akbar.
I'm off.
That's the Global Hack 5 weekend, so
Mm.
I'm not sure if I'm participating in that or not. So
But it'll be in the, if you do participate, it'll be in the daytime, right?
no, because it's
No,
from the
it's all
11th to the 13th. It's every day. Ask Mirage. It's the last one.
No, I participated last time and I got.
I
admitted
just looked at the
and I went,
CIC
like,
one night.
Oh, yeah?
So it's an all day thing.
Okay. And Kiara, you don't know. You have to check your schedule.
Yeah.
But what would you prefer?
I don't know.
Very good. So nobody knows any, and they have no
So, I mean,
preferences.
for me, it's fine, like dinner.
Inshallah, 5 o'clock.
5 p.m.
5
Can we
p.m.
do like a weeknight after, like evening?
We could. Would
Yeah,
people prefer a
weekends.
weeknight more than a weekend?
It makes no difference to me. I'm a free agent.
Mashallah. I don't mind. We can
I
do
guess
the
I'm over,
7th,
like-
which is a Labor Day. It's a Monday, and it's Labor Day. We can do that in the evening.
That's a good day.
What day?
September the 7th, which is a Monday, but it's also Labor Day, so many people won't have work that day. I don't know if you have work or not.
I don't.
But we could do in the evening, like after rush hour, maybe around 7 o'clock, so that way you guys go do whatever you're doing. Rush hour's over, then you can come for an evening dinner program.
Is it like an open invite? Can we invite other people?
Yes, it's open invite. We'll cook enough food for as many people that show up. It's gonna be half Pakistani, half
One of the
American.
biggest issues we're gonna have is trying to find people to act. So
No,
I'm gonna
acting
try-
will be easy. I have a few the acting schools. They're joining on board, so they'll send us actors for free, American actors, in most of the film. What more do you need?
So it's also.
Are we paying them?
No, they're free agent
Okay, so
actors.
free
It
agent.
builds a resume.
I
Yeah,
see.
it builds a resume. Mainly college students though. So actors will have alhamdulillah.
So what time is it gonna be at?
September the 7th, 7 p.m. So that way we can remember, 7.
Yeah, I really like the hospitality and the Muslim community idea. And
Inshallah.
think it's quick to make too because you don't need like a location or anything. You know, you can pick anyone, someone.
Alhamdulillah, I like that too. But I have a few ideas. I'm actually very. I have a lot.
Do you guys
ideas,
know of
inshallah.
any like current Muslim films, not UPF films, because there's a really long, but like short films or commercials or something that's made a really
Yeah.
big impact on you that you can recall right now? There's one that was a Chinese commercial. I think it was like the dad who worked like all day and all night just so that he could like in the end take his little girl to school.
Uh-huh.
And he would do like all sorts of odd jobs and stuff, but he'd never let his kids see. I forgot what, it was a commercial. It was maybe a minute and a half, 22 minutes long. But it was, it
We'll
was,
make a
it was
WhatsApp.
famous.
Yeah, we'll make a WhatsApp group for this, and then if you can put that on the WhatsApp page, I would love to see it. If anyone has really good films or documentaries or
Is that
something,
about that Oriental guy and his
keep
little
careful
girl?
with that. When I say film or documentary, be
Yeah, it's a
But,
commercial.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm trying to figure
that'd be
out
really
if
nice.
it's for, if it's for.
Is the one that she said about my dad lies, about his job and
Yeah.
he lies, he doesn't have a job and he just does everything for his daughter. That is so cute. It made me cry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love to see
That's
that.
the commercial I'm talking about.
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
know what company producer, like what they were selling. I think it's a phone company.
I would love to see it. Yeah, please share it with us. I only know about the inspirational series by like Sheikh Umar Suleiman. I don't know if you've seen those.
Ziyara.
They're okay.
Ziyara.
Yeah, they're okay-ish. But I will make a WhatsApp group. On that WhatsApp group, please post, things you see that inspire you. We would love to see it as well. And then, inshallah, September the 7th at 7 p.m. at my home, which I'll send to all of you. We love for you to come. Please feel free to bring a friend or anybody who's just interested or just curious. Please have them come. Children are also welcome as long as they're not like like babies. Even then, you can bring them as well. I mean, I have a lot of baby stuff now. So please do come, inshallah, and we'd love to have you there. With that, that's everything I have. Is there anybody else who wants to say anything or final thoughts before we conclude?
Do we have to bring anything with us,
No,
like a
please don't.
potluck or something?
No. Unless you want to. If you want to bring something, please do. But no, you're not required to. We'll
Okay.
have enough.
Wait, is this
inshallah.
at your new place?
Inshallah, be my new place. Yes,
So
inshallah.
where are you moving to? Like,
North County.
I know where North County is not small, but okay.
Yeah,
Ferguson.
I'm going to Ferguson.
You're moving to Ferguson? Oh my God. Are you
job.
serious?
Yeah, I'll be across the street from the gas station that burned down. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
It's okay. I'm not afraid to go there.
No, I'm totally
You know-
joking. It's a
you
very
know-
nice area.
You know what?
You'll see it when
Honest
you
to
get there.
God, speaking about Ferguson, everybody was in shock to see all these men in the army clothes and all this. The Palestinian people were like, yeah, we're used to it.
Ah,
Yeah, really.
That could be an idea, Muslims, what we did in Ferguson. That could be a story idea.
If you wanted to just make a short film or
Yeah.
something just about the hard work and effort that Muslims for Ferguson had to go through, and all the people that got arrested, and like the crazy live streams that they had to do, we could get shots of the live stream to show like people
Yeah.
running away from the tear gas, and like I know Mustafa just got
Yeah, you just
You
got out of jail.
that to him.
Yeah.
What did he get?
seriously.
He filed a lawsuit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right, the
Yeah.
lawsuit.
But the good thing is, don't worry, my house is in the rich white area. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. You're
Ferguson's
in
super
Ferguson?
racist. Yeah, super racist in that area. Literally, you have like a poor area, then you have the
Then
super
you
rich
have
white
super
area.
rich, yeah.
And my house is in the super rich
I'm
white
just saying
area.
that
I
that
live
would be
in
a great
Ferguson.
subject
You
to
do,
do
yeah.
a film
Yeah, I
on,
live
though.
Where do you live?
She lives in Ferguson
I
too.
live in
Mashallah.
Ferguson, but
I will be
don't
neighbors.
live on the other side.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I live off of Elizabeth.
Yeah,
Oh.
very close to
So
my
you're
house.
in Ferguson, is that what you're saying?
Alhamdulillah, yeah.
Oh,
Very
okay,
close to
okay.
my house.
Inshallah,
Oh
I'll
my
please.
God.
Well, when I move, I'll have you
So
come
that's-
for dinner.
that's-
Inshallah.
I've only
Separately.
seen certain parts of
Yeah.
Ferguson, so I'd have to explore the city.
I haven't
No, this is
lived
a
in
very nice area.
Ferguson
It's like
for
West
over
County.
31
I'm not
years.
worried. I go all over.
I'm
the
not
place.
afraid of going to
Yeah,
Ferguson.
but I know some people aren't gonna are maybe not come because oh my God, he lives in Ferguson.
I know, right?
Good job.
Yeah.
Going to Ferguson
But what
is
happened
more
is that
more or
even
less.
my daughter,
Uh,
she called me when this recent incident. I said, we don't even know what's going on.
oh yeah.
Because what they are showing, and actually when you go there, it's completely contrary.
That
Yeah,
certain
it's
part.
That's the media.
That's the media,
That's
yeah.
the media for you. Khair. Inshallah, Jazakallah khairan, September 7th, 7 p.m. my home. I'll make a WhatsApp group. I'll send you guys the address, and inshallah, please share your ideas, and then we'll come up with our first idea then. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Walaikum salam. Okay, we got our work cut out
Yeah,
for
I'm gonna
us.
send the, don't worry,
You
I'll
going to
make
work
the
today?
invite.
No, I do not work today.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Please don't make Facebook invites.
So you guys.
No more
Okay.
Facebook invites.
Okay, fine.
Facebook invites just
You
generic,
wanna go
but
somewhere?
once happened, these things are
You
gonna be better.
can.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
the Google invite works best for me because
Yeah.
it gets added to my calendar.
Very
You
good.
actually want to
Otherwise I
go
forget
somewhere?
No, we'll make sure you all know about it.
You
As long as you give me your right email, telephone
wanna
number, you'll be
go
invited.
You didn't want to go to that.
I gotta go to another meeting,
Huntington,
actually.
whatever.
We
Hold on,
could try it again.
Let me. I'm
but-
gonna be in the.
You've been there before?
Oh, I
Yeah,
need
like,
to add one
okay.
more person to that list.
I went.
Faison.
It was.
All right.
Were you filming this?